everyone. Welcome to the Sensing Spirituality Show with me, Iain Mason, brought to you in association with A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV, where, as they say, with love, we welcome you. So good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope you're well. Hope you've had a most fantastic week since we were last together. It's been quite interesting here. We've had the clocks go back, so it's thrown everything into chaos, hence why there's a lack of a shirt here, and I'm in my ninja black. So hopefully we'll have a stealthily good show this evening for you. And with love, we welcome you. And love is really, really important. And I'll tell you why, because I'd love to share a few words with you. I'd love just to share some things that I feel that will be of benefit to you, little tools you can keep in what I call your mace case, carry around with you, and think of me fondly when you realize that they've been helpful for you at certain times in your life. Why is that important? Because as soon as they help you, we ask you to share that with others. Denzel Washington said in a speech once, reach one, teach one. So the process keeps going. So why is that important? Well, I grew up with quite a strong father figure, and he had what I want to say is a tough upbringing just through his parents. And as we go through our lives, we get conditioned by our experiences until we're really old enough to know better. But what I'd say is for people at a certain point in life, particularly as we go back to perhaps the Second World War era, which is where my dad was born, you know, we didn't have the same knowledge, expertise and awareness and self-development that we have today. So we do the best that we can with what we've got, where we are, when that is. And we should always have compassion for that, because sometimes we have this expectation that people should be better than they are or should know how to react. Well, that would make that a judgment, and that would not be a spiritual approach to it. And more important, you'll waste your life being either angry or fearful or wasting your own emotions on what other people should or shouldn't do or how they should or shouldn't be. And there's two things with that. They may not be aware, and equally, they may not care, because spiritual as you might be, they might not be or might not be as open, and that's life. And there's many factors that come into that because we don't know what everybody's story or journey is. But basically, I took my dog out for a walk, and the little monkey rolled in fox poo. Now, I wasn't best pleased, but I felt the emotions stir within me, more on the sort of angry side, if you like, at the sort of displeasure that the dog was stinky. I was up against a deadline. I had needed to get home to take part in a webinar, and I had to wash him because he was really, really bad. And some non-spiritual vocab went through my head, but there it is. You know what? For all that we do the best we can with what we've got right now here. Yeah, you got that. And the language went a little bit blue for me. So it showed me that I've still got some work to do on myself. So, you know, I do practice what I preach. I really, really, truly do. But when I got home, it was quite interesting because I felt really, really emotional. I acknowledged that even though I knew better and thought that I had it more down, that actually the conditioning that I had as a kid was still within me, and I still had some stuff to deal with. I heard my dad within me. I heard the things that I thought that I'd dealt with, that in fact on some level I hadn't. And it rocked me to my core, because I wondered, and I asked myself, I wonder where I act like that elsewhere in life. And it reduced me to tears, and I cried quite a bit. But I love that saying, crying is not crying. It's just allowing the healing waters to flow. It's allowing yourself and giving yourself permission to be vulnerable, to allow yourself to heal. Because you see, when you give yourself permission to heal, you have compassion for yourself. When you have compassion, you have forgiveness in the allowing. And where there is forgiveness, there is love, and love is the healing. Because where there is love, there is no fear or anger. So I hope that you find that useful. And every time your buttons are pressed, just take a deep breath in and out, and choose to respond, not react. We've spoken about this before in other parts of the show, but what I want to say to you now is that this is coming from a slightly different angle, and I wanted to be honest with you and share my own experiences as to how that had affected me and how I still need to improve. But hopefully that can help you. And like I say, as you get more familiar with your own self-mastery and you get stronger, then I say to you that share that strength with others to help them through. It's really important that together we can heal the world and turn the world around. And that's fabulous, because that's what it's all about. Now, hopefully soon we will have our first caller getting ready to come on to the show. And I'm just understanding we've got Sandy in our, there you go. I'm talking the foreign language once again. Sandy in Ohio is ready to come onto the show. So good evening, Sandy, and welcome to the Sensing Spirituality Show.
Hello, Ian. How are you?
I'm very well, my darling. Thank you. How are you?
Good, good. A pleasure to meet you.
Yes, it's fabulous to speak with you. Have you had a lovely day?
Beautiful day, yes.
Fabulous. So how is it I may help you today? What can we do for you?
I had my heart broken by a man of 10 years and just wondered what's going on, why he flew the coop.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's just see where we go. Okay. Just bear with me, my darling, because I'm just being shown some things.
Yep.
Okay. Would you understand if this is right? And I'm just trying to piece together. I don't know who I've got speaking with me at the moment. So I've got somebody mediumistically talking with me and sharing some thoughts. Would you understand that he in the last month together he'd been very scatty in himself?
He's very happy, did you say?
Scatty, a bit out of sorts all over the place.
Out of sorts, yes.
Okay, all right. All right, let me just work out where I'm going. Okay, my darling, would you understand that you were close to Dad's mum, please? So your paternal grandmother?
Yes.
Okay, because she's the lady, I just asked, who am I speaking with, please? And she said, it's me. And it's like I want to call her Nana. Okay, that's what she says to me here. And she's saying to me that it's almost like that's saying that people get the willies up them, you know, they get all jittery and they get all sort of scatty is what we say, a bit all over the place. But he wasn't communicating himself in terms of what he was going through. And it feels to me that there is a family before your relationship with you, or family pressures that he would have been under that were interfering for him in some way. Would that make any sense for you? It feels like something has bubbled up. Yeah. And I actually feel, my darling, that it's not you. This is about him not being able to cope and not having, what I want to say is, the confidence to be very, very open to speak with you about what's going on for him. And I know that by his character, that when things bother him, he does that typical thing where some of us, we go deep within, we isolate ourselves, we almost withdraw ourselves away. Would that make sense for you?
It does, yes.
Yeah, and she's saying that's what he did. And she brings that forward with love for you, because she wants you to understand that where you've already told me, my love, that it was 10 years for you, it's not for you to worry about the things that you did wrong. This is the nature of the beast. This is how he generally goes through life. So it's that feeling of, we're not judging him. It's just the statement about it's him, it's his stuff, it's how he works. It's not you. Because she's just saying to me here that ever since you were a little girl, you always took things very much to the heart. So you're a lady that wears a heart on her sleeve a lot. You understand? Yes. Okay. And bless her, she's coming in to give you a great big hug. And she's a lady that had a lot of love to share, because she's given me a hug as well to say thank you for sharing.
I've been dreaming of her a lot, and they're giving me messages, definitely.
Yeah, no, that's how this works. Whatever needs to find you will reach you, however that happens, even if it's through a crazy bald dude in the UK. So there we go. And as she just comes forward here, she gives me that same hug that she gives to you. And it's funny, she's saying to me now, get yourself up, get yourself ready. And she gives me this message to pass on to you. She says, hold your head up high. Hold your head up high. Okay, and she's saying that really, really strongly with a lot of vigor for you. And she's here, bless her. Now she's in front of the mirror, and this always happens to me because I'm bald, and she's getting her hair nice and ready here, and she's getting herself all dolled up. because she's making this big effort. She says, well, my appearance was very important to me. Would you understand that? She's quite sensitive about her hair.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's put on what we say is a bit of lippy, a bit of lipstick is going on there. And she's just getting herself ready. And she says, because when you look after yourself, when you pamper yourself, when you love yourself, she says that heals everything. And it's really, really touching. Do you understand Grandad passing of cancer, please, as well?
Oh, yes, Granddad passed.
Okay, all right, because he's just walked in and he said, I'm Grandad, and he's coughing and spluttering here, bless him. And he told me that he passed of cancer. And he says, I've just popped in to make an appearance, but I'm going to let her do all the talking. That's what he says. And he hangs back, but he just wanted to come in and give you that little bit of upliftment there. And he's saying to me here, he says to me, he's bringing you some flowers. He's bringing you some tulips. That's what he's doing. But they look like white tulips to me, and or they're pale yellow, one of the two. But they're a very pale flower. And he's also brings you chocolates because he says, you know, you like chocolates. And so I just want you to know that there's that love for you, and that's the message that they want to share with you, and just to give you that loving comfort. And what's really lovely about this message, my darling, is that where you've been thinking of them and you've been holding them close to you, you've had that confirmation back through me to be with you. And I think that's really, really lovely. I'm sorry for your troubles. I'm sorry for your upset. I'll send you some healing after this show. But that's the end of your message, my love. And I leave my love with you, and I wish you all the best. And I want to thank you for calling into the show.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you too. See you later. Take care, my love. Bye-bye.
Take care. Be well.
Bye-bye. You too. Stay well. Be amazing. Be awesome. Now, we've got another caller coming up on the show, so we're going to welcome her onto the show. So good evening. Good evening, Claire. Are you there in Hexham? Hello, Claire. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fabulous, thank you. Fabulous, fabulous. So how is it I may help you today? And thank you for coming onto the show. Lovely to have you with us.
Oh, that's not a problem. Not a problem at all. I'm very, very happy to do that. You know, just
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Anything you've got for me, honey, you just pass on. I'm happy.
Okay. Well, straight away, there's a gentleman here that wants to come through that feels like Grandad for me, but actually says I was more like Dad. Would that make any sense for you?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, because he's almost claiming to be Dad, but he's letting me know that he's not Dad. But he says he was there very much when you were little, and he's got a great personality. It's a bit like somebody that's excelled as a grandfather, forgive me, but more so than he did as a father. And I know sometimes that happens, but he really got into his groove with you when you were young, and he used to clown about in a way that he never clowned about before with his own children. Would that make sense for you?
Absolutely, yeah, totally.
Because it's a bit like here, he's having a laugh. You know when children play with water pistols in the garden and everyone chases each other around? It's like he's mucking about. And he's just showing me you must have had a strong memory of a paddling pool there when you were a kid, because it's like he's chasing you around and in and out of the paddling pool and mucking about like a loony is what he says to me here.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, okay. He's got so much love for you, my darling. He's just saying to me, bless you, and we obviously won't share too many details if it's too personal, but he's saying to me that you've been through the mill a bit on the emotional front, and he's just telling me that of late you've been a bit bruised. Would you understand that?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, but because it feels like, you know, it feels like I'm in a car and I've reversed into your heart and I've dented it.
Yes.
And that's what he's saying. He's not being particularly kind with some of the words that he's choosing to use, but I can't use those on air because I'll get struck off.
I know what you're saying. Absolutely.
Okay, but you know the B word that infers people with no parents. It's kind of along that sort of line. So he's quite strong and feels very upset about the way that you've been treated, because he's saying to me that it's a bit like you've been ambushed through no fault of your own.
Yeah, yeah,
And he says
definitely have to take that.
yeah, he says it was a complete surprise and a bolt out of the blue. So it's like, boom, something goes off there. And it's almost like you can't be left holding the baby or holding the pieces because it's in smithereens. And he says there's no going back.
Yes, I can get that. Totally.
Yeah. And he's saying to me, this wasn't the first time. This has happened before, but this is the last time. This time, no more. No more, he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and he
definitely.
says, okay, and there's a saying that we have here, and I need to give it to you because it's what he's giving to me. He's saying, good riddance to bad rubbish. Now, I'm not suggesting that we be horrible or harbour any ill feelings to people, but people of a certain age, like our grandparents, would use words like that. And that's what he's saying is best it's gone than it to be here anymore. And he's just saying that, he's just saying in the last couple of weeks, he says you've been on an emotional roller coaster, but already he's saying to me, it's like you're crying through the tears and feeling how you're coming back and feeling better already. It's a bit like a very quick, strong bounce back for you. He says you've still not caught yourself, but he's saying to me, he's really proud of you about how well you're functioning. And he's saying pretty much like normal. And he's saying to me that you've surprised yourself as well.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Okay. He loves you. He loves you to pieces. And he's just telling me here that he's been watching you getting ready. And when you come out, he says you've made a point about glamming yourself up. So rather than perhaps wear, like nice jeans with casual shoes, it's like you're putting on your bling. So whether you're putting on your fancy shoes or spangly shoes, but he says you're making an effort here to look better because he says you keep putting your face on. And he says to me, damn girl, you're looking good.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's a shucks, Brenda.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Who's the D name? He's talking to me about the person with the D name.
D for Bravo.
D for dog. D for dog.
D for dog. With a D name.
No,
right,
D,
there's a D. That one.
Okay, he's just given me a D. He's just giving me a D name here. He's also telling me that March and May are very important for anniversaries, please, as well. But he means birthdays, not anniversaries.
Definitely.
So he's bringing those in as well. And my darling, who's got the funky toes? I don't know whether this is you or not. Somebody's either got very spangly toenail varnish on and a ring on their foot, on their toe.
Right, not sure about that one.
Okay, all right, because he's just showing me that and he just doesn't really understand what that's all about. But he just wants to mention that to you. Okay, all right. My darling, would you have a daughter, please, that looks very similar to you?
Not on the earth plane.
Sorry?
Not on the earth plane. Not on the earth plane.
Okay, okay. I need to acknowledge what feels to me like a daughter that would be old enough where, when some girls go out with their daughters and people think that they're sisters.
Yeah.
He's acknowledging this. So, my darling, as you've told me that there's one obviously in heaven for you, I need to say that they must be of an age where they could go out with you and you would look quite alike. She must be of an age where you could be mistaken in that way because he's brought her in and that's how he's showing her to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know this is a daughter for you, and I know that's absolutely right. It's really, really lovely because obviously when we've had our children that have passed, we can only give how we see them, and sometimes the memories that we hold can be a little bit different. But I'm seeing this very, very lovely lady with blonde hair here, as friends and grandmothers say, all grown up, looking very, very nice here. I know that she says to me here, her heart goes with you. I'm being given the sign of Aries that links around this. So I know that either the end of March or March into April would be significant or relate to this lady in some way. Would you understand that, please?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, definitely.
Okay, because that's really, really important. It's like she wants to acknowledge her own anniversary. That's how it feels for me. All right.
Yeah.
And she's quite carefree and free spirited. And she's saying to me that when you let yourself go, you can be that same way with yourself. And she says you do like to dance. And she says you haven't been out and had a nice boogie, is what she's using. The word boogie. You haven't had a boogie for a long time. And she just says, here we go again with the hair crack against me. It's about time that you let your hair down and just blew some steam. It's a bit of a good time for you to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I've got for you, my darling. And I'm going to leave your daughter's love with you and your grandfather's love with you. And I'm going to say thank you for coming on to the show. I send you all my love, and I just wish you great times ahead.
Oh, love to you as well, darling. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and we're coming to the end of the show now. Now, you can look me up on all the usual suspects, Facebook. You can look me up on my website, www.iainmason.com. You can look me up on Instagram, LinkedIn, and all those usual offenders, where I'll be waiting for you if you'd like to contact me for private readings, and we can do this over social media or, some sort of outlet that's available to us. But for now, that's me at the end of the show. So thank you so much for tuning in today. It's been a pleasure to be with you all. And I'd like to share my love with you and ask you to share your love with each other. As I say, God bless you. Thank you. Have a fantastic week ahead and enjoy the rest of the shows this evening. Bye for now.